In 1971, a man hijacked a plane and vanished into the night. No body, no identity, no answers. This is Hidden Truth Files. On a cold afternoon in November 1971, a man boarded a commercial airplane carrying nothing but a briefcase. He bought his ticket with cash, gave a false name, and took a seat near the back of the plane. Less than 4 hours later, that same man would jump into the darkness from a flying aircraft and disappear without a trace. To this day, no one knows who he really was. No body was ever found. No arrest was ever made. This is the true story of D.B. Cooper, the only skyjacker in history who was never caught. To understand how this was possible, you need to understand the time. In the early 1970s, flying was simple. There were no metal detectors, no baggage scanners, and no ID checks. Passengers could walk straight from the street onto an airplane. It was an era built on trust, and D.B. Cooper knew exactly how to exploit it. On November 24th, 1971, a man identifying himself as Dan Cooper boarded Northwest Orient Airlines Flight 305. The route was short, from Portland to Seattle. He was calm, polite, and well-dressed, wearing a black suit, a white shirt, and a thin black tie. Nothing about him seemed unusual, at least not at first. Shortly after takeoff, Cooper called over a flight attendant named Florence Schaffner and handed her a small note. At first, she didn't read it, assuming it was just a phone number. Cooper leaned closer and spoke quietly, telling her she should read the note because he had a bomb. Inside his briefcase were wires, batteries, and red cylindrical objects. Whether the bomb was real or not didn't matter. Everyone believed him. Cooper's demands were simple and precise. He wanted $200,000 in cash, 4 parachutes, and a fuel truck waiting when the plane landed in Seattle. He never raised his voice and never panicked. Throughout the flight, he remained calm, ordered drinks, and even paid for them, behaving more like a businessman than a criminal. When the plane landed in Seattle, authorities followed every instruction. The money was delivered, the parachutes were handed over, and all passengers were released. But Cooper had no intention of surrendering. He ordered the crew to take off again, this time heading south toward Mexico City. Once airborne, Cooper demanded the aircraft fly at a low altitude, at a slow speed, with the landing gear deployed. He appeared to have detailed knowledge of the Boeing 727, something unusual for an average passenger. As the plane flew through heavy rain and freezing night air over the forests of Washington state, Cooper moved toward the rear stairs of the aircraft. Then, somewhere in the darkness below, he opened the rear door and jumped. No one saw him fall, and no one heard him land. The night swallowed him completely. The FBI launched one of the largest manhunts in U.S. history, searching forests, rivers, and mountains for any trace of the man or his parachute. Nothing was ever found. No body, no equipment, and no clear evidence of survival. Years later, in 1980, a young boy discovered decaying bundles of cash buried along the banks of the Columbia River. The serial numbers matched the ransom money given to Cooper. It was the only physical evidence ever recovered, and it raised a haunting question. Did Cooper die during the jump, or did he survive and lose part of the money? Over the decades, investigators examined more than 800 suspects, including former soldiers, pilots, and criminals. Some had the skills, others had the motive, but none could be proven to be Cooper. In 2016, after more than 40 years of investigation, the FBI officially closed the case. D.B. Cooper became a legend. Because of him, aviation security changed forever. Aircraft were redesigned, safety procedures were rewritten, and air travel would never be the same. He became a symbol of mystery, the man who outsmarted the system and vanished into history. So what really happened to D.B. Cooper? Did he die in the darkness that night, lost in the wilderness below? Or did he survive and quietly disappear, carrying one of the greatest secrets in modern history? The truth may be gone forever,